This video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you think a bestseller badge guarantees a perfect paint job, I've got bad news for you. Today, I'm testing the most hyped Japanese hobby tools to see if they're hidden gems or just expensive trash. I went to a Japanese hobby import site, hit sort by best-selling, and bought the top-rated tools to see if the hype is real. From metallic markers to shards of glass, the results were chaotic. Some of these tools absolutely blew me away and are going into my permanent rotation. But others, let's just say their 5-star rating didn't stop them from being disappointments. So let's put them to the test, starting now. We will start right at the top of the bestseller list with these two markers. One of them I absolutely love, and the other comes from a massive, well-known brand that left me confused. First up, the DSPIAE paint markers. DSPIAE markers claim to be easy to use, have superior opacity and vibrant colors. They come in 27 shades, including primary colors, metallic, and fluorescent. They are about $2 per marker and include 3.3 grams of paint. Here are a few of their reviews. I'll keep preaching about how unbelievably good these things are. I swear by these markers. Honestly, the best paint markers I have used, I want the whole set. Just watch how it applies. The tip is soft and sponge-like but feels stable. It's incredibly versatile. You can lay down even coats with the side or use the point, and it self-levels beautifully. Honestly, it feels more like a high-end marker than a hobby tool. I applied it to this model over a Zenithal Prime, and the opacity was impressive on both black and white. The best part? It's so much faster than reloading my brush over and over. Now, some reviews online criticize these for being flaky. I tested it with my fingernail, and while I could scuff it a bit, it wasn't anything concerning. Plus, I always recommend a sealant anyway. The only real downside, the large tip makes it a pain in the butt to reach into tiny nooks and crannies. Second is the AK Interactive RC markers. First, I had no idea that AK even made paint markers, so although they are a big name in the hobby niche, I've never heard of them, so I decided to test them here. The RC markers cost about $3 per pen. They have 34 colors in a range of metallics, greens, oranges, and other rather muted colors. The website boasts about their durability, ability to be layered, and opacity. I couldn't find grams for comparison, but their website says they can draw for about 65 yards. Reviews say things like, the best paint pens I've tried, very easy to use, and Stali from Tale of Painters rates them a 7.5 out of 10, noting they are great for beginners. But before we get into the details, let's talk about Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to start your online presence or online business. Squarespace is so easy, the cats could do it themselves. Use Squarespace Blueprint to answer a few questions and get a custom-designed website. Want something specific? Check out their templates, use their easy drag-and-drop tools to create your unique site fast. Which means more time for petting the cats and that everyone across the world can get their adorable mini witch familiar fixed. Add in online classes, print on demand, and built-in payments, it truly becomes your all-in-one platform. No matter the reason for your new website, check out squarespace.com today to start your free trial. And when you are ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/LylaMev and use code LylaMev for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Alright, back to painting. At first, I was impressed. The flow was smooth and the opacity was solid for a red. But then, confusion set in. Even though I shook this thing aggressively, the color was off. That slightly orangey pastel tone, definitely not the rusty blood red I was expecting. This is just one color, but looking online, I'm not alone on the colors not matching expectations. But the real deal breaker came during further testing. Look at these strange little dusty particles. That is actually debris shedding from the marker tip itself. I looked into this online and didn't see anyone else complaining about this. Is my marker bad? Is it because I tried to paint a whole model instead of little details like people talk about online? Maybe my marker got caught on an edge and once it began shedding, it doesn't stop. I'm feeling at a loss on this one, but with this experience, I just can't recommend it. Overall, if you hate painting base coats or just need a quick touch-up, the DISPAE markers are a win. Just don't expect them to handle hard-to-reach details. As for the AK markers, they can go back in the box. Alright, next up are these two best-selling paints, and this is where things start to get a little complicated. Let's start with the Mr. Hobby Aqueous Super Metallic. Mr. Hobby Aqueous paint use a very mild solvent formula designed to improve flow and self-leveling, placing them somewhere between a traditional water-based acrylic and a lacquer paint. Each jar contains 10 milliliters of paint and costs about $4. Online reviews are overwhelmingly positive with one very important caveat: brilliant for airbrushing. They are my go-to and are wonderful and easy to airbrush. And Barbados Rex on YouTube, who has 121,000 subscribers, says he's thoroughly impressed. And that's when I realized the common thread I missed at first. They all said airbrush. So let me be very clear. Do not try these with a paintbrush. I did. It was bad. Let's move on. For the airbrush test, I transferred the paint into my airbrush cup, added IPA and a retarder, the commonly recommended approach, and tried again. And yeah, through an airbrush, this paint is genuinely beautiful. Smooth coverage, great shine, and an even metallic finish. No complaints here. But hold that thought. Let's talk about the second paint before final verdict. Next is Taniya XF acrylic paint, specifically the flat white. Tamiya's acrylic uses a water-soluble resin formula and is designed to work with both a brush and an airbrush. User reviews are glowing. No paints have impressed me as much as the Tamiya acrylic XF2 flat white. The paint sets a new standard for quality and performance. Always super quality and never disappoints, no comparisons to other brands. Because this paint claims to be brushable, I tested it thoroughly. I put it on a plastic palette, added IPA and retarder, and tried multiple ratios and consistencies to find the sweet spot. The flow off the brush was incredible. Honestly, some of the best brush flow I've ever experienced with an acrylic. But coverage, it was fine. I initially assumed I'd over-thinned it, but even straight from the jar, and after aggressive shaking, coverage was still underwhelming. Through an airbrush though, totally different story. It behaves like a white ink, but better. You get smooth, subtle layering without the slow buildup, making it fast and controllable. I loved it so much, it made me seriously question my final verdict on these two paints. The verdict. Here's the thing, both of these paints perform very well in an airbrush, so I totally understand the hype. But overall, I was unimpressed. As hobbyists, we are already spoiled with amazing hobby paints, and both of these come with significant toxicity warnings. One label literally says, could explode when mixed with air. And look, you have to be really impressive for me to decide that's worth it. There are plenty of less toxic paints that perform just as well, if not better. So while I get why these are popular, chances are you already have a paint at home that can do the job without the extra hassle or anxiety. Let's talk about the DSPIAE Interchangeable Fine Tip Brush and the rest of its system. The claim here is bold, that a single brush handle paired with interchangeable tips can replace your entire brush arsenal. The idea itself is simple. One solid aluminum handle with replaceable fine tips you can swap out whenever a point wears down. The handle costs about $8, and I picked up a 4-tip set also for $8, which, to be fair, is a pretty solid deal considering the number of brushes you get. Reviews online are very positive. I am so impressed I have 4, so I will always have different tips available. A great innovation in the world of hobby painting. So let's talk about how it actually performs. First, assembly. To insert a tip, you unscrew the handle, remove the spring, slide the tip in, and then close it back up. It's simple enough, but my immediate concern was accidentally catching or bending the bristles while inserting the tip, something you need to be careful about. Once assembled, I started painting. The brush applied paint just fine, but it didn't hold its shape particularly well. And when I moved into more detail work, I decided to switch tips. But on further review, it became clear that these tips weren't going to give me what I wanted. Thin synthetic tips like this simply don't hold much paint, and the paint starts drying on the brush before it even reaches the miniature. As for the overall quality, the tips are fine. They sit squarely in the mid-range for synthetic brushes. I've used better synthetic brushes that held their shape much longer, had sharper points, and honestly felt closer to a sable, like the Game Envy synthetic brushes. This tip, by comparison, started to curve before I even finished my first miniature. My last gripe is organization. The tips themselves aren't labeled in any way. If you're using multiple tips, you need to be very organized to remember what tip goes in what container. I forgot what size this tip is, and now I have no idea where to put it. Final verdict. If you have a specific reason for wanting a single handle with interchangeable brush tips, this system could work for you. Personally, I'd recommend it only for general base coating because the tips didn't hold their shape well enough for fine detail work. It's an interesting idea, but for me, it lands more in the novelty category than the game-changing one. Next up, let's go over the perhaps most talked about screw cutters in the hobby, the God Hand Ultimate Nippers. Now, obviously, these I've heard of, but I couldn't resist the opportunity to put these to the test in a video. God Hand claims these nippers use sharp, ultra-thin blades that allow you to cut extremely close to the plastic, reducing stress marks and dramatically cutting down on cleanup time. At around $65, these are absolutely not a budget tool, but they're legendary in the community, which makes them worth testing. People online don't hold back, worth their weight in gold. Best snips, no others come close. First, these snips have a very specific way they're meant to be used. You don't just go in and start cutting everything with them. The recommended method is to use a general pair of cutters to remove the part from the sprue first, leaving a bit of excess material. Then you take your God Hands and position the flat platform side against the model. Slowly squeeze the handles so the blade comes down and slices through the remaining nub. For best results, you want that blade as flush to the surface as possible to get that ultra clean finish. It does take a little getting used to, especially if you're used to just snipping aggressively and moving on. My first impression though was, these things cost me $65. They were good, just they didn't seem that magical. So I switched back to my usual Redgrass Games snips to compare, and immediately noticed the difference. Here's a comparison. With the Redgrass Games snips, the plastic almost looks torn or stressed, even though I cut it cleanly. With the God Hands, it's a crisp, nearly perfect cut. Minimal stress mark, minimal cleanup. The final verdict. Now that I've actually used them, yeah, they're really good. I see the hype, and I'll definitely keep using them. But do you need them? Absolutely not. For $65, they'd have to remove gates, sand mold lines, and prime the model for me. If you build a lot of plastic kits and want the cleanest possible cuts with less cleanup, they're fantastic. But if you're happy with the current cutters, you're not missing some magical secret. But the best products I tested, I'm actually saving them for a second video because I was so impressed by how a single piece of glass could totally transform my workflow. So be sure to watch for that later this month. Alright, that's it from me. Thank you so much for being here. Adepticon is quickly on the horizon. So if you see me at Adepticon, please come talk to me. It's literally my favorite part about going. Otherwise, if you like what I do, you can support me by liking, commenting, subscribing, or joining me on Patreon, where you get bi-weekly live streams, can get custom feedback, and so much more. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.